Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Al Kavadlo. Welcome to another edition of Ask Al. Today's first question comes from Mike E, who writes, Al, love the videos and everything you've done to make calisthenics more popular. One question I'm hoping might be addressed in a future Ask Al video is a true prison push-up, feet totally together, torso facing parallel to the floor, actually possible? I've never seen anyone be able to do this with perfect form, including calisthenics experts like yourself. So I'm wondering if this exercise from convict conditioning is even possible. Thanks, and you rock. For those of you guys who aren't sure what he's asking about, this is sometimes called the Perfect One Arm Pushup or the Ultimate One Arm Pushup. Paul Wade calls it the prison push-up in his book Convict Conditioning. You can see me attempt to do one here. You'll notice if you watch that video that my hips bend a little bit to the side as I do it, and that's kind of the problem that everyone seems to have with this exercise. For me, the question is less, is it possible to do one perfectly? And more, is it practical to spend too much time worrying about that? For me, it makes more sense to practice them with the feet apart, or if you're going to do feet together, to let the hip bow a little bit to the side, because this way you can do a few more reps and build some more strength. Since no one's actually performed a perfect one yet on video, I actually think mine's one of the closest attempts, it can be easy to think that the move's impossible. But I think if someone really dedicated themselves for a long time to that move and only that move, eventually it could be achieved. But like I said, I don't think that's the most practical way to approach your training. Next question comes from a Twitter user named S.E. Praux, who writes, Hey Al Kavadlo, do you think it's more important to eat right before a workout for energy or right after to regain what was lost? Short answer is, I think post-workout nutrition is a little more important. But to give you a little more food for thought, pun intended, I usually tend to work out first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. So obviously I'm not too concerned about taking nutrients in immediately prior to my training. I'm also not that worried if I don't get to eat right afterwards. I know sometimes supplement companies want you to think that if you don't get that protein shake within 30 minutes, your whole training was a waste of time and you're never going to make any gains. But of course that's ridiculous. It's much more important what you eat and less important when you eat it. Yes, it's good to get protein and nutrients in your system right after a workout, but don't fret if you can't do that immediately. Last question for today comes from Adrian Imparable, who writes, So Al, can we build muscle mass and strength only training with calisthenics and healthy food? I see very difficult. A huge respect from Spain. Well, respect right back to you, my friend. And yes, in my opinion, it is possible to build strength and mass with just calisthenics and real food. Take a look at this photo that was taken of me after my training yesterday. I think I look pretty good. Sure, some people might look at me and say, oh, that guy's too puny, he's too weak looking, he doesn't have enough mass. But I think for most people, the amount of mass that I have in my frame is going to be enough to satisfy them. Now, if you want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Ronnie Coleman, guess what? Even if you lift weights and take lots of supplements, that's probably still not going to happen. Because in addition to being super athletes and guys that train really hard and I have a ton of respect for, they're also genetically blessed. And it's also their full-time job to get their body to look a certain way. So if you've got other things going on in your life, it might not be so healthy to obsess so much over aesthetics. Learn to love the body you got. Enjoy training for the sake of the training itself, rather than being so hung up on, I gotta get big, I gotta get huge. If you like calisthenics, train calisthenics. Good things come to those who train. If you've got a question for me, leave it in the comments below. As always, share this on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. You know the deal. I appreciate your support. Till next time, I'm Al Kavadlo, and we're working out.